That's
Yo, the
ridiculous.
episode just
You're telling me
starts.
that a fairy tale monster did this?
Inspector,
Yeah?
it looks the same as it did 2 years ago.
So it was.
There's a fine layer
It's
of
like this
dust
because
covering
it
the
was
beams, but
together.
no traces that it was touched by anything but the
After
rope
1
itself.
hour
No
special.
prints, no scuff marks. The only blemish I see is on this middle beam. But it appears that it was just caused by the rope moving slightly on the wood. It really looks like we have another suicide on our hands, sir.
Suicide?
You sure?
Sure. I mean, if
That's
we're
pretty
talking
scary.
about just climbing up there on a rope like my officer did, then it's possible. But if you had to carry another body way up there with you, then that's a completely different story.
Yeah.
The two deceased, Conan and Master Tene, were not frail-bodied men. It would be unheard of for someone to carry them up a rope to such
The
distance.
goblin can.
Even if the rope was wrapped around the victims' necks and pulled up, there would still be some traces of movement on the beam. There is also the possibility that someone else climbed the rope first and pulled the
They
victims
tossed
up.
them.
But even then, we would find footprints or some other type of marks in the dust. So with the evidence we have so far, our best scenario is that the victims climbed the rope themselves, fashioned a noose while suspended from the beam, and then jumped off, breaking the
I'm
rope
missing
down.
something.
2 suicides.
I'm
We
missing
also had
something.
this axe, which I believe was used to cut the rope as well as to make the hole in the wall. But that still doesn't completely fly. Now, what bothers me
Come
most is how
on.
this hole is in the same place as 2 years ago. And just like 2 years ago, there are no axe marks on the wall. Like the wood was ripped or snapped off by hand. All of these clues keep pointing towards a subject I would rather avoid completely.
I'ma
This is
solve
all being
it.
set up to make us think that these 2 people were killed by the Mist Goblin, a being that can float in midair. It's a story I find not only preposterous but obnoxious.
His brother.
Inspector, don't you find anything else strange about this wall here?
What? That doesn't even look like a goblin, bro.
Wouldn't you expect to find
We've
more
seen
than 3
goblins.
pieces of debris?
Yeah.
With such a big hole made, you'd think there would be a bunch more pieces of wood lying here. Instead, we've only found these tiny little scraps.
Yeah,
do
dude,
have
I'm
a point.
stumped, bro.
Maybe most of the debris was thrown over the rail. Makes sense if the MO of these guys was to kill themselves and blame it on the boogeyman, though you never can know for sure what was going through their minds.
Oh no, please no.
What?
Grandpa, why'd this
Oh.
happen?
Who's that? She a relative or something?
Someone actually loved him?
Master's granddaughter.
I'm sorry. I never got to say goodbye.
And you know what?
I remember now.
She
She, was
kinda-
distraught over the death of Chonin
she
2 years
kinda
ago.
good.
Practically did the same thing.
Yeah.
Imagine it was her.
Visit here all the time. I think she and Chunin had a fling for a while. But after his death, she never showed her face here until today.
Wait, aren't they monks? They're
I
not
love you
supposed
so
to
much.
bang.
Who is that guy?
Him? That is Caitlin's newly acquired husband. They got married on some
Wow.
island a couple of weeks ago. He's next in line to inherit a huge temple just 25 miles south of here, plus some other deals that will set them up for life.
Damn,
2
she
years
moved
ago,
on
when I heard they were
fast.
engaged, it shocked me, but
Can't
not
trust-
as much as it did Chunin. Everyone just took it for granted that Chunin would end up marrying her, but I guess it wasn't meant to be.
What? So Chunin and Caitlin were close?
Yeah, they just always got along real well together, you know, like brother
It's
and
hard to
sister.
find
When
women
Chunin
like
heard the news of Caitlin's engagement to another man,
like
it really
Rachel.
shook him up more than we
and
could have imagined,
Kagome.
which is why he ended his own life.
Maybe
Yusuke's
Master
girl, I
Tene
forgot
was
her
also
name.
broken up about Caitlin getting married.
Good point. That would explain why he chose to hang himself in the same way that Chunin did.
Who else?
A symbolic suicide. If so, then he must have left a will or some kind of note.
Why don't we all split up and
Pikachu.
start searching the temple for it?
Right.
Suicide? I don't know if I buy that story.
It's
No
not
matter how
suicide.
much someone wanted to copy the death 2 years ago, would a person really go through all that trouble just to hang himself? And what was the
Nah.
purpose of breaking this hole in the wall? It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense if it's a suicide since the door was unlocked. But if we're talking murder, then perhaps this was part of an elaborate trick.
Okay.
This hole appeared in both this case and the one 2 years ago.
They're
and
blaming the
it's likely
goblin.
that Chunin and Master Tene were killed by the same person.
Yeah.
It just might fit.
Oh,
If you
but the
want
same
to.
person. Okay, it's not him because he
Hanging
came
out?
after.
Chunin. Didn't Master Tene say he was a new student?
Yeah.
Hey,
Doesn't seem like he's strong enough to break open that hole with skinny arms like this.
Shunin, earlier today at breakfast,
I got skinny
didn't you
arms.
say that you were up late last night doing some homework or something?
yeah, I did. Pretty late. Didn't get to bed until 3.
Did you hear anything out of the ordinary while you were studying?
Huh?
Listen, I'm talking about last night, late. Did you hear anyone get up to go use the bathroom, or maybe some screaming or commotion? Perhaps a
Bro,
sound that
kiss
passed
me,
off
bro.
as a wild animal?
Look, kid, I didn't hear a thing, okay?
Oh, you can't touch a kid like that.
You sure about that?
You sure about that?
Master Tene's room is apart from ours. But me and the other guys, we all have rooms right next to each other. If something was going on, I'd have known. Are you suspecting us? Or are you trying to play cops and robbers?
I'll slap the shit out of him. Oh, shit.
What are you doing up here? Why don't you try giving us a hand and help look?
Right, sorry.
Calm down, Piggy. Okay, it's not him. It's not Piggy. It's for sure the first guy we met. Oh, yeah. I thought they were doing something else.
That really shook me up when the rope went loose. I thought I was gonna fall.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, what's happening, officers?
Sorry about that.
Is this the window I saw at the top of the room where the guy hung himself?
Yeah.
Gee, couldn't someone have carried him up here? That would seem much easier than pulling him up from the floor.
It would definitely be easier, but not by much. It'd still be fairly difficult. Besides, there's just no evidence to support that. We found nothing. No marks on that beam. It's creepy.
Now that's odd.
What?
These draining boards look funny. Different from the rest.
What? Bro, I'm trying to figure this out. This is hard. It's probably so easy. It's so obvious.
As if the wood was cut a long time ago. And there are cherry blossom petals all over the underside of this board. Interesting.
Hello there.
So maybe.
Conan, are you out here? Conan.
Yeah, baby girl, I'm over here. Over here, baby.
Looking for the boy? He asked about the road leading from the temple to the woods and took off running.
That's cute how she like cares about him.
The only thing that's missing from the crime
hard work
scene
being
are
a
the wood
detective.
fragments from the broken wall. If the assailant threw the excess wood over the railing up
Bro,
there,
I don't
he
trust
must have
those.
fallen somewhere in this general vicinity.
What's keeping
If I can find just
that
one of
little
those
house
fragments,
up?
it would probably tell me why the murderer had to dispose of them, as well as revealing his clever trick.
Yo, it is a clever ass trick because my ass does not know what. Oh! He did the showering gun. He's doing a genjutsu right now.
Perfect. Just
He
as
found
I
it.
suspected.
He's gonna
It
get
definitely came
smacked.
From the wall. What the? It's got double-sided tape on it. I wonder why.
Oh.
You know better than to leave without asking.
Sorry about that, Rachel.
And you're playing with a dirty piece of wood? Throw it away.
I can't do that.
Oh yeah, yo, that's him for sure, bro. This is the guy we met
All
at
right,
Karama.
everybody, listen up. Let's call it quits for the day and meet
So I'm
back here
guessing he
tomorrow.
liked
Yes, sir.
Wait,
the girl.
did Caitlin already go home?
Yeah, she left with the
Caitlin.
ambulance, followed it back to town. And we searched all over this place. Couldn't find a will or suicide note.
You're looking at it all wrong. I mean, not
But
every
what's-
jumper feels compelled to leave a note.
But
Richard
why?
and
What's the
inspector
reason?
are mistaken. This is a murder case. Last night something happened and it didn't involve suicide. Something unthinkable. The brute force that was necessary to make the hole in the wall. The draining boards that had been cut. And the piece of wood I found with the double-sided tape attached to it. What's the key that links all of these together?
I'm a damn idiot, bro. A tree. What? He's gonna find out right now. He's gonna.
That's it.
I knew
The
it.
cherry blossom petal. I know the trick he used. If I'm correct, the murderer would have needed to be in this room all night to pull this off. Of course. That's
Oh
why
my
he didn't know.
God.
That's why he didn't hear it. One truth always prevails. I know which one it was.
That's why he didn't hear it. You're telling me it was the little midget?
The
No offense to
investigators
midgets, you
turned
know.
this quiet mountainside temple inside
I
out
love
looking
them.
for clues, but found nothing. What they didn't do is think outside the box. Literally. An impossible death couldn't be done by human hands?
No,
All
it can't be
complete
him.
nonsense. Those two men were the victims of murder, not suicide. And just because no evidence is found at the scene of a crime doesn't necessarily mean that there was no crime committed. And it certainly doesn't mean that the blame should be placed on a mythical figure taken from an ancient fairy tale. No, the Mist Goblin is not to blame here. In the discipline hall, there was extra rope and an axe found on the floor. The most baffling part of the crime scene is that the wall with the small window had a huge hole in it. Yet there weren't any major wood fragments in the immediate area.
Because it was taped.
These draining boards looked like they had been cut years before. And in the woods, I found a piece of the wall with double-sided tape attached to it.
Yeah.
Someone very clever is behind all this.
Okay, so it's Kurama. It has to be Kurama, but
Pedal.
wait, we just saw this shit.
Pedal. I know the trick he used. If I'm
Wait, we
correct,
just saw.
the murderer would have needed to be in this.
Am I having
room
deja
to
vu?
pull this off. Of course, that's why he didn't know. That's why he didn't hear it.
Bro, I'm tripping out.
One truth always prevails. I know which one it was.
Excuse me.
Please, you're already going in that direction.
Okay,
Come
I
on.
got it, all right. I'll drop the folks off on the way back to the station.
I need to get this information to them before the inspector pulls his men out.
Why does he have to
And
beg?
now that I think of it, why don't
He has to
you
hook
give
it
me
up.
the keys to that rental car you left in the woods?
Huh?
I figure since you're always helping me out on these tough cases, I'd have one of my guys tow it back for you, so you don't
Aww.
Thanks, but it's not like I've been working
Oh.
for free.
I got the key. Come get me.
Oh, he's gonna.
Where'd that little punk run off to hide?
Imagine he does it, he knocks him out. And like his oh my god.
No way. He actually did the dirty work for me this time.
Dude, you could get killed like that.
Dart that I can save for next time.
Bruh.
You're going to love this little piece of hardware. It's a tiny speaker with a wireless connection to your Bowtie voice emulator. You can use it anywhere.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hi, how you doing, officer?
You shouldn't be up here without permission.
You have good timing, sir. Detective Moore wanted me to tell everyone to gather inside the discipline hall. He solved the crime. And would you have any double-sided tape on you?
What? Double-sided tape?
What?
Richard, what's this about you knowing the murderer?
I not only know who did it, but how he made it look like a suicide.
Oh, really? Then tell me, how do you explain him dead hanging by the neck suspended
Yeah.
10 meters above the ground?
I got
It's
no
not an easy
idea,
task
bro.
for anyone. If you're claiming that another person had a hand in this death, then how did it happen? Please walk me through it.
I found
Because
out
there
there's only
wasn't a
one
speck of
culprit
evidence on that beam that
in
proved
every
he was pulled
case.
up.
Of course there wasn't any evidence on the beam, Inspector. The murderer floated into midair with Master Tenay right up to the ceiling. He fastened the noose around his neck without ever touching that beam.
You feeling all right, Richard?
Wait,
I need
what?
you to say, Mist Goblin. I am turning around and walking out of here right now.
What do you hear right now, Inspector?
What do I hear? You mean the waterfall?
Yes.
The waiver?
The fall.
I'm gonna get the
Its
water.
water flows right outside this window I'm leaning into. This is where it gets tricky, so please bear with me. If you were able
Alright.
to fill up this room with water by diverting the fall through this window, wouldn't it be possible to float up to the ceiling without breaking the laws of gravity?
Wait a minute. You mean this room
Yeah.
that we're standing in? You may have just
No way.
If this room was drenched in water, then the victim would have gotten wet too. We did plenty
True,
of dust on his
true.
clothing. It was dry the whole time.
True, true.
Rubber boat.
What? What are you trying to get at?
He put him in
Last night at
rubber?
dinner, you mentioned that all of you take rubber rafts down the river, am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
The culprit put the headmaster's body in the rubber boat and covered it with a plastic sheet. By doing so, it's very plausible that he could float to the beam without getting
Wow.
wet.
But Richard, we're talking 10 meters from floor to ceiling.
Low-key, that's
Enormous
genius.
amount of water. Not an easy task for someone to pull off in a few hours.
He used these draining boards.
Wow.
By placing double-sided tape to the underside of the boards, he was able to create a makeshift spout from the falls to the windows. To prove this theory, you only have to look closely at these draining boards. The edges of the
Wow.
boards are irregular because they've been cut to fit the
Am I the
distance
only
to
ones
the
that's
window. And you can
tripping
see
out
where
like,
the
yo, this is like
double-sided
low-key
tape was
crazy?
placed Because cherry blossom petals are still stuck there. Now,
Not
I'm sure
crazy,
you're
but, like,
wondering where these flower petals
It's
came
so
from.
s-
Well, on top
it's like
of
so
the ground where
obvious,
the cherry trees are is the
but at
same
the same
place
time
that
it's
the
not.
water from the falls originates. Another thing, these boards aren't the only place the petals are stuck. They should be dried out by now, so you should see some falling to your feet any second. Much like shaving scum sticks to the side of your bathroom sink, the flower petals stuck to these walls once the water was drained from the room. After killing the headmaster, the murderer brought his body into this room and placed him in the rubber boat. He then covered the body, sealed the doorway from the inside with the tape, and then left the room through the small window by the floor. Then, using the draining board, he began filling the room with water from the window above. He then rushed back to the first floor, entered through the small window, and then sealed it with the tape again. He had to seal the exit from the inside. Otherwise, water would have been able to leak out. The killer then waited patiently for the water to fill up the room, taking special care to ensure that the body didn't get wet in the process.
I would have died because I can't swim.
The water level reached just below the beam, and the murderer tied the noose to the beam and the headmaster's neck to make it look like he'd hang. He then had an easy escape through the window above.
Wow.
How did he manage to drain all the water from the room?
From outside,
he just broke that.
The small panel by the floor with the axe we found in the room. Let's do the math, shall we?
And then boom.
The floor is 2.7 meters
on
each side, and the height of the room is 10 meters. So if we take 2.7 times 2.7 times 10, we get 72.9.
72.9.
Now, specific gravity of water is 1. So the weight of the water that filled this room is
thirsty.
72.9 metric tons. With that much water filling the room, I'm sure you can guess what happened after he swung the blade of that axe against the small panel. One swift stroke of the axe cracked the panel, weakening it, and with approximately 9.8 times 10 to the 4th power of Pascal pressure, the water came gushing out with such velocity that it broke the wall and created an even larger hole.
You lost me with the math.
Pascal pressure? Would you mind saying that again in English for us?
Sure.
Yeah. Pascal.
An 18-wheeler truck doing 60 miles an hour.
Gotcha. That explains how such a big hole could be created without any X marks in the surrounding wood.
Oh.
The fragments are.
Conan found a piece of the wall below the temple in the grass. The force of the water blew the pieces everywhere.
Conan found it.
Here, this is the piece, Inspector.
Bro, he seems chill though.
Sure enough, there's double-sided tape on it. What more?
He ain't nervous.
Who could have done all this?
It would have taken no more than 10 seconds for the water to drain, but filling it up is another story altogether. The volume of water entering from the draining boards is 5 to 6 times that of a standard bath faucet. If for every hour 10 cubic meters of water pass into the room, then to fill this 72.9 cubic meter room,
it would take
around 7 hours.
10 days. Oh.
The approximate time of death for Master Tenay is between the hours of 10 and 12 o'clock last night.
Okay.
His body wasn't discovered until 8 this morning.
Someone told me
and found him.
that the author tests these
trick,
things out.
Filling up the room with water, placing the body on the rope.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't test everything out, right?
Cleaning the room. He had to be here last night from midnight until at least 6 a.m. That's plenty of time to pull this off.
That's horrible. That long just to kill someone?
Ask Shunin. This morning I remember you saying that you were up last night until 3 a.m. reading, isn't that right? If that's the case, then you must have heard it just like everyone else.
It's him?
Someone let out a scream because they were frightened by a mask that was found hanging in the restroom. The person who screamed,
Bitch, what?
Who was it? Go ahead, Shunin. Answer the question.
Well, but why would he?
With it. Of course I heard the scream. There's not a doubt in my mind, guys. It was Rachel.
Nah, you dumb bitch.
It really startled me. Guess it can't be helped, though, if she's afraid of the dark.
Slap him on his bald head.
Huh?
You sound so confident with your answer, but I can assure you that you're wrong.
What?
It was me.
Yeah, I screamed like a bitch.
To me that you didn't hear the scream. What with all the water gushing around you, that's probably all you could hear. Plus, you had your hands full last night.
Come on, boy.
Yeah,
you know
killing.
Hold up in court. Where's the hard evidence?
If it's hard proof you're looking for, Inspector, you're holding it in your left hand.
I am. This little thing?
After the water had drained, the killer was able to get rid of the evidence remaining in the room, but that fragment of wood you're holding escaped his attention. That's right.
Bro, these murderers are like low-key geniuses, man.
The killer overlooked.
They could be putting all this work
as a detective on the line.
into something
Because all
good.
the evidence you need to convict is on that fragment of wood, the tape to be exact. You'll find on there Shunin's fingerprints.
Boom! He shit himself.
Shunin only arrived at this temple a year ago. If the
Yeah,
same
but
trick
what-
was used 2 years ago, then there's only one killer.
No way Shunin could have done this.
The murder of Chunin 2 years ago was most likely committed by Master Tenay himself, using the exact same trick I've described today.
What? He actually killed him.
Were cut long ago, which clued me in on him. But his unwillingness to talk about solving the past crime sealed it in my mind. And unless I'm mistaken,
True,
I find it
I
very
said that.
possible that Chunin, the victim, and Shunin, the murderer, are actually brothers.
Whoa!
Right. Chunin was
They don't-
not only my blood brother, but he was also my best friend in the whole world.
They look nothing
Before I came
like.
here, I did my best to hide my true identity. I first enrolled with a temple in another state, and then transferred here to Binhai. Of course, I didn't enroll here for the studies. I wanted to learn more about my brother's death and hopefully find out who killed him. For 6 solid months, I searched every nook and cranny of this temple, trying to find a clue. I more or less figured out the trick, but I still didn't know who it was that pulled it off. I couldn't believe that no one would talk about the incident at all. But yesterday, when Detective Moore arrived, I figured it out. I was positive when I saw how Master Tenay reacted. After dinner that night, I found him in his bedroom. He was relaxing. I pressured him into talking, and eventually he started spilling everything. All the details. He still didn't know I was Chunan's little brother.
Why, he's laughing about
My
it.
brother. He said he couldn't allow his granddaughter to marry one of his students, even if it was Chunan, his brightest and most promising. Chunan and Kaylin were in
Wow.
love with each other. All they wanted was to be together, no matter what the circumstances.
I'm
That still wasn't enough for that stubborn old man.
on
He
his
was ready
side,
to turn
bruh.
himself into the police, but he just said,
What happened in the past stays in the past, and you better not utter a word about this to anyone. Believe it or not, Chunan's death has done wonders for this place. People actually know Binhai Temple by name now. The temple where the Mist
Wow.
Goblin still lurks to this day.
Dude, he deserves
while I
that
was listening
shit,
to him say
bro.
those things, the fury and the rage just poured out of me. That's when I saw the belt sitting on the nightstand, and the next thing I knew, I was choking him. I did it the same
Good
way
shit.
he did it to my brother. I pulled the
Good
belt around his
shit.
neck from behind so the marks would look like he hanged himself. Once I
Good
realized what I had
shit.
done, I had nowhere to turn. The only reasonable option at the time was to cover it up, so I decided to make it look like the Mist Goblin had struck again.
He should have tortured him.
It's really unfortunate, Detective. If only you had visited this temple 2 years ago, my brother may still be alive today, and I wouldn't be in the
Damn.
position I'm in now.
Damn, that's sad, bro. Holy shit. Wow, that's depressing. Wait, what the hell is this outro? We got a different outro. Hey, I like the other one. Wow, this is tripping me out. Alright, go.
Moore, you continue to surprise me. I didn't know you were such a mathematician. It's a pity you never showed this side of your brain when you worked with me on the force.
Remember talking about Pascal? Or specific gravity?
Pascal?
No, Rachel, he,
Oh, he's gonna be, yeah.
Man, why does my head feel like a bomb exploded inside? What did Rachel say? Something about gravity? No, she wanted to know what Pascal was. Aha! I know. It has something to do with fish, right?
Not even close. You gotta wonder, where would Richard's career be without me?
For real. No, literally living in the streets, probably. Wow. Hey, man, that was sad. That was really sad, honestly. Wow. What a piece of shit was that. Like, I called it from the beginning that he was the one that killed that guy. But this is the one I thought it was Karama. Like, I don't know why. And why does they make him? Okay, look. This is what I don't like. That dude that was like saw Conan finding the wood thing. That dude was like the same height as of Karama. You know what I mean? The tallest one, not the short murderer. Like, so I don't like how they did that. You know, they like because they know obviously it's because if they showed the real height, we'll know who it was. You know what I mean? I'm not mad about it, but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean? Just a little rant. But yeah, no, it was great. I liked the special. I liked it, and it was a sad one, bro. And like always, I'm on the side of the murderer, bro. You know, poor guy, man, poor guy. It's like if you think about it, it's like super sad. Like all these people that like killed for like their loved ones and shit, you know, for like revenge. You know what I mean? It's sad. All right, guys, y'all the best. Thank you for watching. I love you, and trust me, I'm gonna be like throwing these episodes out there. You know, like trust me, like I'm gonna get back on my grind. And I'm gonna be oh man, I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. All right, I love you guys. Till next time.